Hello and welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts, and today what we're going to be looking at is resin jewelry making for beginners, but not actually making it out of resin, but how we turn what we've made into some really beautiful jewelry. Because I'm sure, like me, you've got lots of pots of made shapes and different bits and pieces that you just need to turn into jewelry. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. Now, I use a Dremel, as you know, and I've got a little pack of drills, and everything that I use today I will also put into the description. So I kind of measure up what the size is that I've got against the drill bit. I usually mark the centre, but I'm not going to today. So there we go. I've drilled a little hole. Let's try with this one. That will fit that small one in, and that will allow it to screw in. Now, some people say that they have problems with it splitting, and that is because if you've got a too small a hole, then you are going to cause it to split. And that is screwed in there nice and tight, and the likelihood of that coming out is pretty remote. And because it's actually a coloured pendant, you're not going to see where you've screwed it in. All you need to do then is put a little jump ring into it. There are these jewellery making pliers, and none of this stuff is expensive. You just need to close up your jump ring, go back a little bit, and then come forward to close it up. And there we go. You've got a pendant made already with that. You might want to do something a little bit more fancy than that. And I use these end caps as well. And again, don't forget, I will put it in the description. And these end caps come with the top on it with a little hole in, so you can put the actual jump ring through it. I don't tend to use super glue, although you can use super glue. I tend to use a little bit of what's called E600, which is a really great jewellery glue. And I just pop a little squeeze of that in there. Okay, I usually get a toothpick or something and make sure that's all around it wherever I want it. I get the concave edge. I just move it around, put a little bit of pressure on it. And there we go. I'll leave that then for probably 24 hours, but that really isn't going to go anywhere. Now, this is a little heart that I've made. Now, you could turn that into an off-centered one, or you could put it through the center. I actually quite like them when they're off-center. So what I would do there is, again, I would take my Dremel. I'll drill that into there like so. And what you've got is, you've got a line where you've actually put that, because this is a clear resin cast. So what you've got is you've got a line where you've drilled that through. Okay, but what I tend to do is I tend to try and clean them out first to get rid of any dust. And you can do a lot better job than I'm doing here, because all I'm doing there is impacting it down. And that is too long at the moment. So I'll take my wire cutters and I'll look at how long that is, how much needs to be cut off. And I think it's probably about that much. So I'll just take the wire cutters, just nip that off like so. Okay, I'll try it again and see if that's the right length. And now I think that is a perfect length. And what I will do for this one is, rather than use the E600, I will get a bit of UV resin. That's the UV resin I use. I will then use a pair of tweezers to ensure that I'm coating that nicely all the way through. Okay. And then I will push that UV resin into there like so. And what all you have to do is you just take your UV light and you shine it through the actual resin. Because you've used resin, there we go, I'll show you that now. You don't actually get to see what it is, like the sanding bit or the drill bit that some people don't like, which makes it cloudy, because the UV resin just allows that to disappear, similar when you're doing a top coat of something that you've just sanded. Again, you can put a jump ring in. So let's get to the jump ring. Okay, close that jump ring up. And there we go. Now, you might not want that to be a necklace, and you can buy these lovely little keyring fittings as well. And all you have to do is get yourself a jump ring. Open your jump ring up, pop on there. You don't need to have it onto the other jump ring that I've put on. You can just put it straight through that hoop and close that up. And there we go. You've got an off-centered heart that is now working really, really well as a keyring. You could even glue a photograph or anything to the back of that so it was shining through that heart. And there's lots of little embellishments that you can get for things as well. For instance, these come with little end caps, and that's why I didn't take the other jump ring off of this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to open that other jump ring up. And these aren't expensive, and all this does is really just adds a little bit more value to it and a bit of personalization as well. So there we go. We've now got a key ring with an off-centered heart and a little tassel on it. Now, I don't know if you're like me, but I mean, I have lots of this stuff about anyway, but I always make a lot of these things in the closed back bezels as well, and these work exactly the same. So all you need to do for these is you need to open up some jump rings. You can get really tiny jump rings. You can even make your own jump rings. Okay, and there we go. You just join these together. So we've got 2 small and 2 large on there now. And if you wanted to make this into a bracelet, if it was a little bit longer than this, you can get several different fasteners. You can get the lobster claws, which are like this, where you pull the little bit back and there's a little spring in there. Or you can get these magnetic ones, all different colors as well, and they just clip back together, and you just attach those onto your end. Close that jump ring up, and there we go. You have got a way of fastening quite easily your piece of jewelry. You can get a variety of these types of end caps as well, and I buy these in bulk, and you can actually use these really in a fun way. I'm going to drill a quick hole in the very center there. I quite like that one. So what you can do then is you can take your pin like so, pop in the top there, measure that out in here, so that needs a considerable amount taken off it, and then you can use some glue or UV resin to hold that in there. And you can take a piece of chain, attach a jump ring to one end, or a piece of or a lobster claw, feed your chain through there like so, and there we go. You've got a nice finished piece of jewelry. Easy, and it takes seconds. So don't have all these pieces lying around when you don't need to. As for example, this one here, which is the one I made out of the pistachio shells, and if you want to know how to do that, check out my other videos. I'm going to pop that through there like so. If you want to glue these ends together, then you can, to give it a little bit more security. And I just think that because it's a fun pendant made with pistachio shells, then I actually think that the leather cord itself is much nicer on that. So I make my own beads. I made a mold to do this, and they kind of look all right at how that is, but they absolutely look so much nicer with these bead end caps put on them. And these, again, really cheap. Now, they're ever so easy to put on. Again, I use E600 for this. I pop it around the edge, put it on there like so. There's that one. I just pop another bit more of the E600 on. And then I pop that in there like so. Squeeze them together. And then what you can do, these are either beads, or you can actually put them, and I think they do look quite nice, on a larger chain, and have them hanging like so. The other thing you can do is, if you want to make earrings as well, now you can buy earring making equipment or pre-made earrings, but if you're making them for pierced ears, I tend to use wire like this, I have these round end pliers. I bring it down round like that to the height or the thickness that I want that. Well, that's not thickness, it's the diameter I want that hoop. Okay, I twist that wire around. I then trim off that bit there. And then I think, right, okay, I need it to be about that length and it needs to go into someone's ear. So I need it to go into their ear about there. I will trim that off like that. I'll straighten it up and there we go. You've just got a simple thing that you can use for pierced jewelry. Alternatively, if you want to use these straight pins like this, then they've already got the loop attached to them. So they're really easy. I just bring up my round nose pliers to the height that I want. Look at it like that. I always give a little twist there because I think they're safer on your ears. And there you go. You've made another pierced ear attachment. Or for pierced ears, you can also buy the stems and the backs. Now, I often use, when I'm using these, if I'm particularly making earrings, and you'll have seen this in my other videos, I actually, when the resin is not very well cured, I will put these backs into it so it heals and seals straight away over the top of the backing. I don't like to use glue on these because I do find that glue, especially if it's super glue, will become quite brittle. If I think to myself, oh dear me, I should have made that into an earring, or I've got a lot of these shapes left, I will take a piece of UV resin like so, okay, especially if it's on clear ones like this. I will get my toothpick. I will pop a bit of resin on where I want the back, and I want this to hang down like this. I will put that on there like so. I will then build the back up a little bit with a bit more UV resin so it's overlapping that backing, as you can see. I'll move that around to make sure there's no bubbles or anything in it. Make sure it's in the right position where I want it. Yes, there we go. Perfect position for me. I will then take my torch and I will then just allow that resin to cure on the back of there. And don't forget to tell people, if you've made them a clear piece of resin, to keep them out of direct sunlight, because if not, what will happen is it will yellow, because all resin yellows in the end, regardless of how UV protected it is. Okay, that's fairly strong on there now. And push that onto there so it's already pre-made up, and there we go. We've just got a nice little clear earring. I think what you should do is really get to everything that you need to get together and have a day of making some fabulous bits of jewelry and advertise it and sell it, and and get rid of it, because it's not doing you any good sitting there unless you're a bit like me and you just love to look at it. But it could help you to get some money back, certainly to allow you to spend more stuff on resin. And you might be thinking, well, I do need to get a Dremel because I haven't got a Dremel. So you might want to do as much as you possibly can without a Dremel until you've saved enough money to get a Dremel. But I have to say, and I'm not sponsored by Dremel in the slightest, wish I was. So once again, I'll just let you know, everything that I've used today, I will put in the description of this video, including the direct links. You just have to click on the links. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know if there's anything else you would like me to show you about putting fasteners onto jewelry or creating jewelry in the comments below, and I will ensure that I get to that and I will make a video on it. And also, please let me know in the comments if you found this useful. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Share this video as much as you can to help this channel grow. I really appreciate your watching this video and taking the time to subscribe. Take care. Bye.